I spent my life doing elite sport until I came to Hong Kong, and then I found out, wow, man, these people don't move as part of their education. And so I've just been the national sport aerobics coach to the World Championships, and then I walked down to Bank of America Tower with Central Golf and says, I want a job here. So I got a job, and I'm working with 55-year-old people who don't know how to move. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I just done? So that's been my life for the last 18 years, working with people who don't know how to move. And I don't want to insult Ilya, but he's never done a sport, and he's entered Dragon Boat team. So the most successful Dragon Boat team in Hong Kong in terms of corporate. So I'm at the back of the boat. He's at the back of the boat. We put the new people, and he's struggling with the fitness, but he perseveres. Now, so I just fast forward a little bit on our WhatsApp chat. He's talking about his running, and he's trying to get into movement and fit, and, for the next season. And so I'm looking at this, and he's talking about being injured and all this sort of stuff. So I'm like pulling my hair out. This guy has no idea about movement, but it's really simple stuff. So here we are. I'm going to talk about sustainable movement. I gave him this big spreadsheet of how to select exercises, and gave him an exercise program. I says, look, you've got to be kind to yourself. Take it easy. Not being an elite athlete, you just want to train for fitness. So about 21 days later, is it not, Ilya? He comes back and says, do you want to do this talk at this thing? And I've come here about an hour early to find out what this thing is. I've been on a Zoom call. I looked at that mind map behind David and thought, that's a pretty busy mind map. And then I found out what it meant. It's like colonization of the planet, the moon. And I'm thinking, well, I've told several people of that this week when I said I'm talking about this talk. Oh my God, what the hell is that? That's amazing. Then I went and had a look at the picture while Joy was talking. And the picture on his right shoulder is all eyes. So it's all eyes. So it's all seeing. And then this guy's done 2,500 interviews about people, and he doesn't know how to answer the why he's driven to do it. He didn't actually answer Joy's question. He talked about a lot of other things. But he's exercising his brain because he's got a massive brain. We're going to do some movement, and this is where I'm going to introduce myself. So, before I do that, I have one quote. Oh no, I'm going to say, I'm not a recovering academic. I'm a recovering perfectionist. Now that is a really hard thing to recover from. And my first quote, my favorite quote, is from Plato. So it gives me a semblance of seeing academic. You can tell more about a person in an hour of exercise than you can in a year of Zoom calls. So here we go. So based on that quote, here is my introduction. And hopefully you can see my feet. So this is where, Gordon, you come in.
Wow.
Warrior 2. Warrior 3. No, so revolt triangle. Look at you. Other side. Other side. We'll get that a bit tighter. Okay, so that's what I call my short form warm up. So what can you tell? And I get most of my clients in the last 6 years to do that. I've written a book called Rome, Range of Active Movement. And it's my distillation of lifelong movement, plus some research into yoga and some qigong and Western study, etc. So I've just tried to, it's my hack distillation. So what can you tell when people do that? I had a quick look around the room and we had everyone join in. But you can tell a lot. Movement is life. Movement reveals weakness. Movement reveals how you think, what your environment is. So in flexibility is environment. I go to all around Asia and I teach movement, I teach the TRX system. And I have seen people do what the Asian people can squat really well. Gordon, can we see your squat? This is where I want to see you. I want to see if you've been listening and acting on my advice. Oh, we can't see your knees.
I know. I don't want to turn off my background. I'm cleaning house.
Right. Okay. You know, I think I figured it out anyway. So if you've been listening or acting. So I do that as part of my teaching. I watch people squat. And usually all the Asian people in the Asian countries, they can squat, they can put their heels on the ground, feet together and their butt down. Not all of them can put their arms up by their ears. That's a different thing. Yeah. There's chicken over here. Let's have a look. Okay. It's pretty good. You're right. Achilles is a little bit tight. That's pretty good. I would give that like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's like, wow, I'm like blown away. So as part of the, if you want to do it back home, you've been sitting down for a long time. Now I score that because I trying to brand my system and teach that. So I'll give you about an 8 because your arms come down, which means your thoracic spine's tight, which means you're spending too much time in here. But it can mean some other things as well. We might get onto that if we've got time. So it's about movement's about environment. We want to make this is, I came off the call after about 15 minutes earlier the other day, and I said, well, so what do you want me to talk about? So sustainable movement. So I'm still trying to figure what that means out as we go along. I sort of went to the beach to meditate with nature, to try and figure it out, because recently I've had a couple of life changes and I've been this lifelong learner. So I see 2 points of it. And I'm trying now, and this is what I teach my elite athletes, because I think if you want to win a gold medal or get on the dais, you have to let go, and I'll say this slowly, you have to let go of the limitations of the teaching of others. Because you need to be creative. You need to look at the opportunity that's in front of you. If it, like with the Olympic sailors who are in regatta now to determine if they're going to go to the Olympic Games, you can't race the race according to your coach who's on shore. If the wind is going that way and the opponent's there, you've got to make an adaptation straight then and there. If you're boxing, you can't box to your seafood. You have to box to what the guy in front of you is doing. So what I'm doing is, in part of my sort of shedding life, is I'm stopping doing and I'm being more being. And well, this is the first point I'm going to ask you. Maybe you can all have a little short conversation. I'm going to give you 4 gifts. And I have 4 gifts in my little pocket here. And the first gift, and it'll be a question, because I think all of you like to talk, judging by sitting here for the last hour, some more than others. And since Gordon has insulted me already, I know that Gordon likes to talk, so I'm going to say that. So I've got 4 gifts. 4 gifts. Okay. And so here's the first one. That's a green gift. Okay. And what that stands for is love your life. Love your life. We're talking about sustainable movement. If you look up movement in the dictionary, Wikipedia, whatever, it's this massive word that means not just exercise. So love your life. So what you can do, I think the best way to do it is to type into your chat 3 things, and I'll provide an answer to start with. 3 things that you love to do if you were going to sort of do on holiday or do regularly. I don't want to make it too tight, too perfect. So the first thing, when I was thinking about that this morning, what I was going to do this talk, is what I like to do right now, age 52, is not what I wanted to do 7 years ago and the 7 years before that. But what I like to do, number 1 at the moment, is I just like to sit on the beach and just be, and just think about what's in front of me. Just be aware. That's the first one. The second thing is that I like to be with my children. I have 3 children, 17, 15, and 13, 3 children. They hate Zoom calls, by the way, hate it. They hate it. So if you can type in your answers, I'd love to know the first, just 3 things that you love to do. Oh, I can't read that without my glasses. Maybe you just tell me a couple.
Smile, learn, watch.
Smile, learn, and watch. Smile, learn, and watch. Is that Gordon's answer?
Of course it is.
Right.
Exercise, not exercising.
Wonderful.
Thinking.
Okay. So that's my first gift. Love your life. However that is, I'm not telling you what it is. It's just love your life.
Hike, walking, holding space.
Holding space.
Oh, sorry, holding silence.
Holding silence.
Biased.
Who is that?
Alina.
Which one?
Golf, tennis, skateboarding.
Golf, tennis, and skateboarding.
By Peter.
Wow. Golf, tennis, and
Music,
skateboarding.
hike, thinking.
Thank you.
From Dan.
Okay. So there's a part B to that question. How much of your life do you do that? You don't necessarily have to answer that, but
That's a tough question, man.
yeah. Well, you guys are all brains, so I can tell that you're all brainy guys. How much do you do that, and how can you get more of that, in your life?
99%. All of it.
All of it. All
To
of it.
leave.
All of it sounds like a perfectionist.
65% from Alina.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little experiment that I've been working on since 2009, where I'm trying to associate metaphysical lessons of Qigong and the chakra system of yoga and the feelings of people into movement. Because that's what I do. I watch people move. That's what I do. I've been watching you guys sit in your chairs for the last hour and a half trying to figure out what sort of person you are, and it's really difficult. So with what Joy's saying, very hard to see that connection. I can't really tell. What I do all day is I see people in shorts and t-shirts. I don't see people with their fancy watches. I don't see them drive their Porsches. Sometimes I get to go in their Porsches. I don't see them with their $2,000 plus Italian suit or diamond rings or anything like that. I just see them in t-shirts, shorts and t-shirts, and I see them move. That's how I get to know people. You also get to know people by what they don't do in terms of movement, what they refuse to do. Okay, so I lost where I was for a second there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So love, and most of you have a job, computer scientists, you're sitting like this all day. Right? And this is our future. This is our children are like this. This is what they do. So this posture here is technically it's a kyphotic thoracic spine, like that. Now, if you can't do a squat with your basically your spine straight, it's this part of your spine is fixed and it's possibly rigid. If you can't put your arms up, your lats are a little bit tight as well. So you are what you repeatedly do. And I think someone quoted Stephen Covey before that. I think it's essentially a Stephen Covey quote, make habit excellent or something like that. So you're tight and you're rigid like this. Now this posture is a depressed person's posture. You'll see depressed people, you can't really see, but depressed people, so they rock to and fro in this rounded posture because they're protecting all their inner organs here, So depressed, if you can't do that squat, or I've translated it into warrior one position, you can see, now I'm a little bit tight there, but I'm a very flexible person. But I'm opening up my chest, really opening up my chest. As you open up your chest, it takes courage to do that.